Hello there. Welcome to this video. Beth Martins here. It's January 21, 2024, and I'm making this video to welcome you to my new YouTube channel. And if you're not familiar with who I am, you probably are, because you wouldn't really find me if you're not. But I did lose my YouTube channel probably a week ago or so, or maybe 10 days or something like that. And the writing was on the wall. I knew that was potentially going to happen. I had had a number of strikes over the years of the last, when I've been speaking out and not holding the truth that I have inside myself. And I always thought, oh, like they won't notice me. I like archetypes and I like, helping people. And I train coaches and I'm not dangerous. I'm just like doing my little work over here. And, but the bots got me, I guess. And probably, I think the nails in the coffin were some last interviews about controlled op, which is a fascination of mine, not just a fascination like that I'm entertained by it, but that I'm just so tired of having really good people go sideways with these characters in the show. And it's mostly characters in the show. So those interviews, by the way, are not here on YouTube. You could use YouTube as a way to go and check out my Rokfin. X is like for maybe free speech for 5 minutes. We can already see the writing on the wall. People are probably going to get canceled over there too. But between Rokfin, this new channel, and also Rumble, which I'd love for you to subscribe to me over on Rumble so I can get myself up. Now my StreamYard is fully set up for streaming to that platform, although it's a little pain in the neck. And yet I'm grateful for a place that is not censored. So that's fun. I do host the King Heroes here. They can be men or women who are willing to get out and say the difficult things and go against the grain and take whatever kind of backlash might come their way as grist for the mill, because they have a vision and they have, a kind of kingdom at whatever scale. It doesn't matter. It's not really about building empire scale, anything that would probably not be in the organic reach of a true truth teller, although there are some, of course, larger channels out there. But I feel very committed to hosting them and to showing people their work and bringing people to solutions, because that's my favorite thing. I don't want to sit and talk about the problem all day long. You might want to talk about the problem a little bit and then you move right to solutions. And me personally, I am someone that always feels like the work can be done mostly inside. That's the alchemist archetype talking there, that we can do our own inner deprogramming and releasing and healing work and have things show up in our world in a much different way, because we're not reflecting the hidden motives that are there for us. I not only coach my clients to get past their biggest obstacles and their biggest fears and have breakthroughs, often business coaching, so that they can build a service that will be independent of a lot of the controlling forces out there. I really love that about my work, that nobody has showed up to regulate me, even in our most regulated time here in Commie Canada, which is, only this close to being a complete takeover here. So we love America, and I'm heading off to America very soon. In a day or so, you might hear from me from there. I will be live streaming to this channel from now on, as long as they'll have me. I'm assuming I'm not on their radar with 32 subscribers, but you do never know. So yeah, some fabulous interviews have already happened. You'd have to go over to my Rokfin channel. I'll post links to all of that below. And then, yeah, it's a really huge honor for me. I absolutely love doing interviews. I love doing lives. I love meeting my people. I say my people, not that you're my people, but you're my tribe. You're my kind of people. And we really are meant to find each other. One of the biggest things I love to be a champion for, a couple of things, is sacred purpose, because that almost killed me 20 years ago, not going along with that and going very far off the path with it. And my system went like, no, 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 ain't gonna happen. And so, yeah, sacred purpose is a very big soapbox for me. I'm also a recovering feminist, if you don't know me yet. And so I'm very happy to highlight men that need our support right now, because they will be the kings for us, or they are the kings for us also leading the way. And we're all leaders in our own way. We're all kings in our own way. There is a natural order that takes place even among children, and it's very fluid. And the person that you might, look up to, there'll be somebody else that looks up to you, and you're their leader. And so I really hope that everybody takes their main source of motive from the source. I don't even say that very much, but God is a problematic word. Check out, I don't have her book handy, but check out, I know a writer who came on recently and did an interview talking about how the word God actually doesn't even have etymology. It's not even a real word, but we know what we mean inside our minds and our hearts. And I'm a big stand for there being no interloper. You don't need a church. You don't need a priest. You don't need anybody to come and tell you how that relationship is supposed to go. And having that is a very beautiful thing. If you haven't come across my book yet, I published just 5 minutes before the pandemic hit. And this is a map of archetypes to find lost purpose in a sea of meaninglessness. And I'm so happy I published when I did, because that means that I didn't get bogged down. There was a lot of bogged down, of course, for me and everyone in the last years. And this baby was born just in time. I've received amazing feedback. And people not only read it and enjoy it, but they use it as a workbook. They go back to it over and over. They reread it, especially parts that might be, more where they're challenged and where they're stuck. Archetypes are a beautiful way to find patterns. I am a card-carrying pattern hunter, and that's what attracts me to be able to know myself more easily, and to be able to communicate with people more easily, to find the parts of myself that are not healed and resolved, and then to use that map as a way to go in precisely and see where things are out of alignment. So you can get my book at my website, which is bethmartins.com with an ENS on the end. Also, I'd like to share with you just a few minutes about the House of Free Will, which is my private domain ministry. We were always, looking at how we can not balk the system, but in a way, hack the system, and seeing how much evil was coming our way, and the public domain is encroaching on the private domain, eating the private functions. Just one quick example: coming back into Canada during the pandemic from the US, and they want to quarantine me and control what I'm doing. And that's one of those things that it doesn't sit right with me. So I want to have a voice. I want to put it out there, and it inspired me to create the House of Free Will, where it is a contained unit. It's much more private community. You have to apply to be part of it. Inside the House of Free Will, there are a number of workshops on a variety of different subjects, all solutions. Some great speakers and teachers have come in the field of law and in health and in spirituality. I do regular weekly snippets on particular subjects that I feel passionate about speaking and sharing what I know and what I've learned, and my hacks and the decoding that I do, often talking about archetypes in particular and how to navigate using those. So if you'd like to become a member of the House of Free Will, again, I'll have a link in the show notes below where you can check that out and see what's involved. It's you don't have to give any blood. It's not a secret society at all. Here, I'm just saying about it in public, but it is a place for us to relate a little more closely than we can. That it's not just on the fly in chats and like, oh yeah, hey, I recognize that guy, but you can have the opportunity of actually getting to know people and to work with them. And inside the House of Free Will is also where I do all of my coaching. So if anyone's looking for support, either to build a life purpose, kind of a service, or to heal from the things that have injured them and ailed them in their lives, and they just know that there's more in them that they have to give, and it's not coming out as fast or as easily as they would like, I'm here for you. I've also graduated a number of coaches in the deprogramming and decoding work that I do with the archetypes and all of the tools of letting go. I'm just running now my 5th training since 2020, when the pandemic started. Incredible people have come through there with a lot of dedication. And I just have my hat off to them because the work they're doing is very brave, not only to take on their own healing work, but to prepare to help others with that. So if you are interested in the next round of Journey Code, which won't start until September 2024, it's not too early to start putting your hand up with that. We have an advanced Journey Code group for graduates as well, where we're taking on subjects at a deeper level, doing some exploration. I also have now 5 apprentices in Journey Code who are themselves preparing to be trainers, so that I can potentially expand this work. I don't want to be anything huge, but I feel the calling that if more people were able to really know and understand themselves and see how our own unconscious is busy tricking us out of a full and loving kind of experience, despite the fact that everything is going to hell. We don't have to go to hell. We can create our own life and our own experience to a very great degree. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you. There are a number of courses that you can look at in the House of Free Will. Like I mentioned, the Find Your Sacred Purpose, the Primal Power, which is how people like us that love the truth and love freedom are going to get stuck, and how we can get unstuck. And yeah, I think that's all for now. So you can follow us here on YouTube, and I do recommend subscribing to the other channels. But most importantly, if you come to my website and you want to do a quiz to find out where on the path of purpose, on the hero's journey that you are, in 10 minutes you can find out which archetype is most likely to hold a lot of keys for you right now. You are actually all the archetypes. They are universal. That's how we're connected at the level of collective consciousness. That is a concept that is being weaponized against us right now. But in 10 minutes, you can find out which archetype is more likely to get mileage for you in your exploration and your healing work these days. So then we will be connected at my website and not dependent just on these platforms to have our connection. So, okay, I think that's all for now. You can always reach me at my website and my about page. There's forms in a variety of places if you want to say hello and touch base. I'm always up for meeting new members. If you want support with anything, I also have no hesitation to jump on a call and get to know you and talk with you. Maybe you want to join the House of Free Will, but you're not sure if it's for you or not. Then you can read more about it at my website, bethmartins.com, or freewillministry.live are both the same destination right now. All right, my dears, if you haven't heard of Acapulco, I'll just mention that I'm going to be presenting there, speaking on the 11th of February. Very excited. I'm going to be talking about ascension myth busting, specifically for King heroes, and for those of us in a movement where we're not scaredy cats, where somebody says put a poison injection in your arm, you're not going to say, okay, I'll do that for some ice cream or chips or a donut or something like that. You're not that one, but we have special problems as that are not as obvious. And if you can start to get a handle on that, then you can get ahead of it and you can reclaim your life energy, because otherwise it stays tied up in unconscious programming and not the way you might think it is. There's also 3 workshops, or pardon me, 2 more workshops are going to be at Acapulco. I'm giving on a King's Calling, specifically to help those that are already established in something. How do you pivot when you're established and you've got a fairly big world to pivot with? And how can you not when God is telling you? So that'll be a really fun workshop. And the kicker, I'm going to be doing a workshop on the archetypes of controlled op. Very hot topic. I have to say, God told me to speak about this. It has at times been unpleasant because I'm receiving some attacks and I lost my channel over it. But that's something that I think, if people can walk with clarity, just how much better we could create in our own vision. Okay, for the 3rd time now, I think I'm done. Lots of love for now. Let me know any thoughts you have in the comments. Thank you so much for any help you could be sharing my channel link out, which I will put in the notes below. All right, my dears, bye for now.